And you were
Sitcoms used to be must watch TV. You set your clock like, man, I'm gonna go watch Friends.
Right.
I'm gonna watch Everybody Loves Raymond or all the whatever.
And Shark
Cheers,
Tank. And
whatever.
Shark.
Yeah.
And Shark Tank.
Yeah, Shark Tank. Yeah, they do. Hey, did you know that was gonna be a
No,
success?
I thought it was going to suck, but we'll get there in a sec, right?
Okay.
So, but those shows are scripted shows. They're not going to linear television anymore.
No.
They're going to streaming, right? Netflix and Peacock and Max and those guys. And so, now the linear stations are trying to do all sports, and that's their angle. And on Shark Tank, literally when I got asked to be a guest shark, and they're like, we'll give you 3 episodes. I'm like, cool, I'll come on. This show's not going to last.
Right.
I'm just going to go on there.
I'll be on TV for 3 shows. Then.
Right, that's exactly right. I'll be on, I'll be on network television on ABC for 3 shows. I'll raise some hell, show people I know what I'm talking about with business, and we'll see what comes next.
Right.
And the next thing you know, bam. Of course, I take all the credit.
What type of investor is Mark Cuban?
Now, just really conservative. I like investing in small companies, startups where I can help entrepreneurs because I like to do that. That's what I do on Shark Tank. But with interest rates at 5+%, why take risk?
Right.
Right. So it's easier to do that, either through tax freeze or treasuries or whatever. But I still like to invest in startups.
Right. Man, you on Shark Tank, y'all be taking them people. Man, how y'all gonna take half the company? They don't work like 5-10 years trying to build this up, and y'all come in and taking 27%. They offered you 5. Can you go to 10? Why you taking 30? Damn.
Well, it depends on the size of the company, right? Because I'm giving them a lot of money. Because if they didn't need the money, they wouldn't be there.
They wouldn't be there.
Right?
You're absolutely correct.
And so they're not there because maybe they're there because of the commercial, but they're there because they need help.
Right.
And so it's been a lot of fun. I've invested in hundreds of companies there over the 15 years. Some have done really well. Beatbox Beverages, you may have heard of. Dude Wipes, you probably have heard of. There's just a bunch of them that are just destroyed, just killed it. And some of them didn't do as good, right? And so you've got to understand that, 25% are going to go belly up,
right.
For whatever reason. 45, now let's say 60% are going to be okay. Right, and 15% are going to kill it, and I got to make sure those 15% I really get paid on to cover all the other ones.
Didn't the Ring
came on, but
on?
But I didn't like that deal anyways, right? Because Ring they sold for $1 billion, but they had to raise like $500 million to get there. Obviously it was a good product and it paid out, but I have a rule, right? If you have to raise hundreds of millions of dollars to do tens of millions in sales, it ain't going to work for me, right? Now, if you're able to sell and get an exit, more power to you, and he was able to, so he deserves all the credit.
Have you gotten upset when a shark stole one of your deals?
No one steals my shit. You haven't watched the show enough.
They come on there and say, Mark, I want to deal
Yeah,
with
for
you.
sure, right? You haven't watched the show if you think anybody got one of mine. No, hell no.
But other than the Mavericks, obviously that was a big investment. But you own stuff. You own Netflix, Amazon.
I did for a while, yeah. When they were turning around, right? When people didn't understand what they were doing, I made a lot of money. I bought calls, which the right to buy the share at a higher price, and I bought a lot of them, and they went up 10 times what I put up. So I was a happy camper.
So, but when they say it takes money to make money, because you've been in the situation, because you've created these companies and been able to have money, so when these, like you said, you like to invest in startups, you're able to make a killing.
Yeah, I mean, look, in order to be a billionaire, you have to be lucky as fuck.
Okay.
There's no way around it, right? I don't care how smart I think I am, or Bill Gates, or Steve Ballmer, or Buffett, or Elon Musk. It takes luck, right? You've got to, if I started doing things 5 years earlier, right? And coming out of college and the internet wasn't happening.
Yeah,
Right? It's just when we started broadcast.com, that was right at the right time. And no one had done streaming. And the internet stock market was just blowing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's how you become a billionaire. And that, I worked my ass off. I was smart. I did shit other people were afraid to do. But if the internet stock market hadn't been insane, I'd be just some guy, just chilling, with a nice house, and you'd have no idea who I was.
Right. But but you have to take some risk, because I remember when Google came out and they thought the shares were going to open up about $85 a share. And I remember sitting to my financial guys and I was like, oh, you know what? I had just signed with the Ravens, so I had some money. And I was like, man, I'd like to buy, $300,000 worth. Well, it opens up at 115, and he says it's overpriced. And so, it's going to come back.
Right, they don't have the profit. Yeah. Hey, I've done that. I know. You're not the first one to say it. It's like NVIDIA. It's like NVIDIA right now, right? I told my son wanted to invest in it, and he bought some. And I'm like, I'd rather see it come down first. And my son's like, I got you. Who's the expert now, right?
Think about it. And how many times has Google split?
Oh, I mean, it's worth over $3 trillion now. $3 trillion. Trillions. I mean, not billions. That's 1,000 billions, $1 trillion.
Yes. So my investment, I'd have been a billionaire with you.
Right? You fucked up.
I did. I fucked up bad. Because Netflix and Google, and I had the money to do it. But I let somebody talk me out of it. But then
there's 25 other ones that you thought you should go in and talk you out of it.
They lost their butt, and say, so it evens out.
Yeah.
When you're so benevolent, when people try to take advantage of you, I read that you had an employee that steal from you. Uh-huh. When you've been as generous as you have over the course of your career, does that make you sour on people?
No, because people steal. What am I going to do?
Right? Yeah, steal from somebody else. Don't steal from me.
Look, you know what? It's a good problem to have, right?
That means you got it, huh?
I can afford it.
Right.
Like my first company, Micro Solutions, though, there was a lady, Renee Hardy, Reneehardy, right? She was our receptionist. Okay. And her job, she had one job, right? Take our payables for our vendors, put it in an envelope, lick the envelope, take it to the post office, right? We had $84,000 in the bank. I'll never forget. Get a call from the bank. Sir, this woman just came through the drive-through and the checks were whited out. The payee was whited out. Remember white out?
Yes.
She wrote her name in it. And I'm like, you didn't cash them, did you? Of course we did. We're a bank, sir. She took 82 of the $84,000 that we had. We were flat broke, and the 82,000 was supposed to go to vendors.
Right.
So now we had to call the vendors, say, please work with us. We'll bust our ass. We'll make sure you get paid. And they did. They worked with us, right? And the rest is history. But she could have just, boom, done. Then I was mad. That's why I always say Renee Hardy.
Did you press charges?
We couldn't find her. That's been years and no one's found her since. And now I get emails from people, right, that are like, I heard about this name, Renee Hardy, and so-and-so's name. It's just random names, right? The same name. And no one's ever found her. She's probably changed her name or whatever.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because we like to do something before 2 something.